Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Haunt Talk. Today is going to be another little special episode. We decided we wanted to make another list of places that you should go in 2025. We haven't done like a best of list since 2021, and we've been to quite a few new ones, and a lot of the ones that are on this list are new. Now, this video might be long. We're going to try and get through this a little bit quick, but we really wanted to highlight a lot of really great haunted houses and kind of do it by area. Because if you're like us, you can't go to all these areas we're going to list. But we're going to list, like, kind of the idea of the list for a lot of these are going to be like, this is the big haunted house. And then here's some other haunted houses you can go to while you're there if you're, traveling to it. Or if you just can hit multiple in one night. Yeah. So that's kind of the idea of this list. There's going to be a lot in Ohio. There's also going to be some in Kentucky and Indiana. I think technically PA. Mainly those states. I do want to start off, actually, that list with an honorable mention that's not on the list, but it's one we just filmed a video on. If you can make it to Universal Studios this year, you absolutely should. Halloween Horror Nights is one of the best it's ever been. If you can get to Orlando, you absolutely should do that. And there's other good ones in Orlando that we have not been to, that we'd like to go to, like Sir Henry's Haunted Trail. There is the Busch Gardens one we've been to. There's a SeaWorld one we've been to. It's been years, but they were good when we went, so... There's just so much to do in Orlando where you can have like a week long of just haunted houses there. But we didn't really have that on the list because we know that's kind of like, that's pretty far. That's going to be more than driving distance for most people if they live around us. But most of these on this list, you don't need to fly to. You can drive. You can drive to them. Yeah. All right. So I think we're going to start the list with... the ones that you expect to be on this list 100% because we talk about them every year. So we kind of want to get those out of the way. They're amazing, but we talk about them all the time. The first big one that we're going to talk about that has won our Haunt of the Year many, many times is Blood Prison. Yes. It is in Mansfield State Reformatory. I highly recommend, if you do this, to do the Touch Pass. It makes the experience so much better. Because I've heard some people like complain, like, oh, well, it's not as scary as you say, but it's like, if you do the Touch Pass, it will be. Yes. Without the Touch Pass, because of the way this place is designed, it's a little bit harder for them to get scares, because a lot of it's in cell blocks. They're still good at it, but if you get the Touch Pass, you're gonna get a good experience. Yes. It's intense, it's long, the scenes are beautiful. Absolutely, this is one that I think is worth traveling to. Yes. If you're outside of Ohio or in Ohio, wherever, you should travel to it. And there's also quite a few that are decently close. A couple that aren't really on the list, but they're kind of like side mentions, because we haven't been in them a couple years, is Trail of Nightmares and Mohican Haunted Schoolhouse. Yes. Are pretty decent haunted houses, and they're really close, within 20 minutes of Mansfield. But some huge ones that everyone knows of that are in Columbus, which is about, I would say it's probably like an hour drive from Mansfield, if that. Yeah, about an hour and 15 minutes. Because we've done them together. Last year we did it. Fear Columbus.
The Haunted Hoochie is near there.
Yeah, Fear Columbus is really, really good. That one can be a little bit much. I almost recommend taking earplugs with you just in case, because like I can't handle that place with my ears a lot of times. Like my ears ring for like a day afterwards, but it is amazing. Like, and it is very Horror Nights-like in the way scares work with like boo holes. And then the Haunted Hoochie, I mean, it's the Haunted Hoochie. Everyone knows about the Haunted Hoochie. Like, they're half naked. They'll peg you with chickens. They're crazy there. Yeah. But again, we talk about those ones all the time, but they're thankfully fairly close to us. Like all within 2.5 hours from here at least. Yeah. But you can make, again, if you're not local, absolutely worth traveling and just hitting all of those places we just mentioned.
Another good area to check out is, well, they're kind of owned by the same company, and they're not really close to one another, but we talk about them a lot. Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse and Nightmare Cleveland.
Yeah, they're owned by the same person, and they're very, very different, but there are similar-ish things to them in the way that they're themed, like the way that they stick to one theme, and that's the thing that they just really dive into. Yes. Where Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse, that one is themed to a slaughterhouse. Nightmare Cleveland is more of like, Dead Space, The Thing, like that kind of like sci-fi. It's a lab where they were trying to give people basically superpowers and it went wrong, and now they've turned into mutants. This is probably one of the newest haunts, if not the newest haunts on our list, because when we made the video in 2021, this place didn't exist. Yeah. So, and now it's, it's probably one of the closest to us on this list too. because they opened the first year with only half the show, which was still decent, and now it's the whole show. So it takes about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how fast you get through it, to go through. And we've heard rumors that the Touch Pass will be back this year, which was the big thing that I wasn't happy about last year, is they got rid of it for reasons which I understood, but it sounds like it might be coming back this year. So if it does, make sure you get to Nightmare Cleveland and do that Touch Pass. Chippewa has always done it. Well, they've always done it since they started a few years ago. And again, if a place does the Touch Pass, especially if it's the one you can take off, just do it. It's usually only a couple $dollars more, and it just adds so much experience. If it's too much, just take it off, and you're done. You'll be all right. I think that's it for the ones that are like, well, okay, there's a couple other that are like super, super close. So some kind of like single recommendations that are by us. Factory of Terror. Now, yes. Factory of Terror isn't, I don't want to, it's good. Factory of Terror is a good haunted house. They have like 4 or 5 haunts there. And they did quite a bit of changes to the first one. It's like Asylum theme now, and there's a bunch of changes. We don't have a review on the channel on this for a couple years. We are going back this year to do an actual review, but we've been there they do a lot of special events throughout the year.
Yeah.
But nothing beats Factory of Terror if you're wanting to go there just to have a good time.
Right. Like I kind of call this like the party haunt.
Yeah. Which they fully embrace this at this point. I mean, there's 5. Yes, I believe it's 5 bars in there now.
5 bars.
And they're all, well, one of them's not themed. I think the 5th one's just in the axe throwing place. But the other ones are all very well themed. There's a clown one that's in a greenhouse, one that's in a pirate ship, and the oldest one they've had for a while now, used to be the only one. It's like themed to New Orleans and being on Front Street.
Yeah.
There's like a dance floor there. This year, I guess they're going to have like, I don't know if you saw it. So when we went there for the special event they did for, I don't remember if it was one of the Friday the 13th things. What was the special event we did there?
It was Friday the 13th. It was the Slasher Fest. Yeah.
Yes, because it was a Slasher Fest. They had these little mini pancakes that they would put like cereal and stuff on. What's going to be there all year.
Yeah, they're going to be there this season.
It was such a hit. Oh. It's going to be there all year. What you have to get those. It sounds so simple, but they were so good. They're just these little mini homemade pancakes. They make as you order them, and then they put all kind of goo and stuff on them. Amazing. But that's really what you go here for, because it used to, you have to go to the haunts in a sequential order. Yeah. Now they've opened up the floor plan. They put all these photo ops. It's just, if you have a group of friends and you just want to have a good old time and get scared, there's really nothing else like the Factory of Terror. There really isn't, and it's cool that it's so close to us. Again, it's not the scariest haunted house, and it's not the absolute best haunted house, but it's really solid, and when you add in all the other stuff, these bars, and also the drinks are strong, and they're reasonably priced. So if you're a drinker, like, just be careful, I'll say. Another one that's kind of, that's brand new, that also is pretty close to us, is Hollowfest at Regal Vineyards. And this one, it's only been open for a couple years now.
The way that it is now is newer from last year. It had been open previously, but it was kind of just like a little tiny thing. It was like one little haunted house and not much there, but they have since expanded it very much so the last couple of years. And and I mean, it's in wine country in Ohio.
Like, it's at a winery.
It's at a winery. Like, why not?
Because that was also kind of the thing that the list is saying. You can also do this while you're in the area. So obviously with this one, the only bad thing about this place is that there's nothing else really close to it. So it'd be hard for you to do another haunted house, more than likely. If there is one that's close that we're missing, let me know in the comments below. But it's Geneva. So there's Geneva on the lake, which is like, kind of like a little party town. And then there's the wine country surrounding all of that. So you can go there in the day, make a whole day of it, go and trying different wineries, trying cool food, maybe going and playing games at, Geneva on the lake. And then at night, you can go do this. Now, again, they were like pretty brand new when we went. It was only like their second, I think, or so year in operation, maybe third. But what they had was really cool, and there's something about the place that's hard to exactly describe, but it just has this feeling of this is eventually going to become something really cool.
Yeah.
The foundation was there. It still needs more, but the foundation of something great was there, and I hope that continues.
Yeah, because the way they have it kind of set up is they have like this really cool, like kind of like a courtyardish area where you can sit and chill. They had bonfires and photo ops, and they had some characters walking around. And then there was like a couple of barns where you could go get drinks and wine, and then they had like food. And then they had like the house over here, the haunted house over here. There was the corn maze over here, then the trail. And it just always like kind of nice where you could just kind of like veer off and do whatever and then come back into this little area, like this little hub area. But I am looking forward to see what they do in the coming years.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to make it to this one this year ourselves, but yeah, it was really cool, and I do want to go back in future years. I really wish they could do a haunted hayride. I don't know if they have the room for it, but that would be cool. Let's see, what area... Well, so we'll talk about this area because we go there quite a bit, which will be the Cincinnati area.
Yeah.
There's quite a bit there. I think the big ticket haunted house, because again, most of these that we're going to kind of delve into now, there's going to be like the big ticket haunted house and other things you could do while you're there. So the big ticket, of course, in Cincinnati area is the Dent Schoolhouse.
Yes. I mean, everybody knows about the Dent Schoolhouse. It's been on numerous shows, and we've done reviews for it numerous years. Yeah. It's a good, solid haunted house. It's got a nice theme, you know, obviously spooky schools where bad things go.
Yeah. I do wish they changed up a little bit more on this one, but if you've never been there before, you definitely need to go there. We haven't been there in a couple years. Maybe they have changed things up, but they used to have like a second little mini haunt, which wasn't great, so now it's just a photo op.
Yeah.
But some other really cool things to do in that area when you're visiting, well, and this isn't really on the list, but it's not great, but Kings Island's really close. Kings Island is amazing. Their haunt, not as much, but you should do Kings Island in the day.
Yeah.
Haunted house-wise, there's quite a few that are like within an hour like radius. Some of our favorites that we've done, this one's been a few years ago, which is USS Nightmare. They also do an extreme one. It's not crazy extreme. They touch you and stuff, but they will take you to separate rooms and like feed you stuff and that. Nothing real crazy, and you can kind of not do it. They're not going to like hold you down and force you.
Right.
But like Kim had to take a shot of vinegar, which was gross. Well, they tricked her. She didn't have to, but she thought it was whiskey. I mean, it was not. And they made like beef jerky and like tomato soup and stuff like that. It's nothing too bad. They just make it sound gross, but it's fun. It's on an old like ship that actually sits on the river. Technically, this one might be Kentucky. I don't know. It's right across the river, but we're gonna say it's Cincinnati. I think technically it might not be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think technically it might be Kentucky. And then Land of Illusion is another really popular one. This one might be as popular as Dent Schoolhouse, at least almost. This one's cool because it's a scream park in every sense of the actual word.
Yeah.
Like it feels like a theme park that is just made, but just for haunted houses though. And they're all pretty decent haunted houses.
Yeah.
And they have the trail, which is like the trail itself that they have there is like a half hour long.
Yeah, it's the biggest one that they have there. Is the haunted trail that they're known for.
And a lot of the haunts are a little bit lengthier. There's a couple shorter ones, but most of them are longer than you would expect for a place that is a scream park. So yeah, I mean, those three can definitely fill up your night. And there's others around too. These are just like, I think like Shady Lane Anchors and stuff like that was close by. And there's some other ones, but these were like our three favorite: the Dent, USS Nightmare, and Land of Illusion.
Our trusty,
yes.
open and early,
where we're going next weekend after we film this.
Which is Fright Farm and 100 Acre Manor.
Yes.
They both usually open like the second week in September. And they are both really good houses to go to. Very long. Fright Farm is great because it's a hayride and then a haunted house and a haunted trail kind of thing.
It's everything.
Middle of everything.
It's so long.
100 Acre is a really long house that just like it changes themes throughout the house. So you walk through and then you're into a new theme and stuff like that. And they haven't changed much in that lately.
Not in the last couple years. The last big addition was like this Yeti house. I really don't. Their website hasn't been updated that I can tell. So I'm really hoping that there's something new this year, but I don't know. We'll let you know when the review comes out. But we review them every year because, like Kim said, they open so early. There's no. Most haunts we don't go to every year. I mean, there's a couple, like we go to Chippewa and that almost every year. But like these ones, it's like it's hard not to because nothing else is even open.
Yeah.
And Fright Farm is just one of my favorite haunts ever because, I mean, it's like a haunted adventure. It might not be the absolute scariest one you've ever done, but like if you leave that place without a smile on your face, like it's just a great one. It's an easy recommendation for even people that aren't like super into haunted houses. Don't get me wrong, it's still pretty scary, but it's not like they're not going to grab you and touch you and do too many things. And even if you are scared, you'll just be impressed by the beauty. It's a great showcase of, because there's a lot of people that aren't enthusiasts like you probably are if you're watching this, honestly. Maybe you're not, maybe you're just trying to get recommendations. A lot of people just like, when they think of haunted houses, they think still more old school haunted houses. Or just one or two. They don't think of like some of these more grand, beautiful art pieces, which I consider most of the ones on this list to be, and I definitely consider Fright Farm in that. And another one, we've never been to it, but if you are traveling like a far distance for Fright Farm, it's like an hour away, the prison that's by it. It's like an insane asylum. Is it Trans-Allegheny?
Trans-Allegheny is near there, yeah.
People say that one's really good, and that one's fairly close to Fright Farm. So if you are making a trip, maybe Trans-Allegheny could be your trip for ghost hunting and, and their haunted house, and then Fright Farm as well. Let's stay on theme with PA. So there's a lot of them in PA. A couple of them are on the list, like Bates Motel and what's the other really big one? Not the one that's on here. The prison. Eastern State Penitentiary.
Yeah.
We haven't been there long enough. It's been like, oh my gosh, I think it was like 2018 that we were there, 2017, 2018.
It's been a while. Yeah.
And I've heard mixed things about both of those now. So they're not on this list because we haven't been them, so we can't really in good conscience say you should still go to them. But one that's a lot more recent we've been to that I think people will travel for, which also isn't that far away from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Would be Penhurst Asylum.
Yeah.
For one, the location of it. Penhurst is terrifying. Like, if you don't know anything about Penhurst, we're not going to get into it now, but very, very dark history.
Yeah.
And just walking up to the building, like the path they make you like wind around and take just to get to the entrance of the haunt, it's freaky.
Yeah.
Just real vibey and weird.
All overgrown and just real scary, not very well lit.
Yeah.
And you're like, am I in the right spot? Is there somebody here?
Yeah, real freaky. Yeah, you absolutely should go. And it kind of sticks to that theme for the most part of the insane asylum type of thing because, that is what it was. And then they also have, like, you get to go into the tunnels, which is super freaky underneath. That's where they kind of really get with the story. Like, that's where they really kind of get into, like, the make-believe side of things, where I think the story, at least when we went in 2021, was, like, doctors and they were, like, experimenting on patients and making them into, like, experimental creatures and stuff down there. Yeah, that one's really good. And then, of course, sticking with the theme, another one that's pretty close, which is in Lancaster, PA, is Jason's Woods. Now, I highly recommend, and again, not dogging on anyone that works or anything, so people get their butts hurt when we, talk about places we're not the biggest fans of. But again, we've been to Field of Screams twice, and each time we've went, it's been nothing but a conga line where they're trying to get your money by literally selling fast passes to you in the middle of the line and booths. Like, to me, all that one really feels like is cash grab because it's hard to get a scare because every time we've went there, you're just in a line through the house. It never stops. You stop moving. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, but Jason's Woods, the houses there weren't super amazing, but the hayride was really weird and cool.
Yeah, because, I mean, where else are you going to go on a hayride that actually, like, moves the actual, like, thing that you're sitting in, tilts it towards the thing to scare you. And it's like, I've never seen that before, ever.
So basically, the best way to describe it is think of like how a lot of these movie theaters have like 4D seats now where the seat will like articulate and do that. Imagine that, but on the whole scale of your entire hay wagon. The whole hayride, the whole wagon can lift up into the air, can tilt, can vibrate, can shake, can slide you from left to right. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like taking a normal haunted hayride, but then like Universal-fying it or Disney-fying it. It's really weird. And I don't know if there is another place in the country that's like what they do, let me know. But I mean, as far as I'm aware, Jason Woods has that cornered.
Yes.
Like they're the only ones. Now, we did want to make two little yum recommendations. We might be doing these for some of them. A place that we really liked if you want to have like a little spooky vacation. For one, Lancaster is a really cool little town. It kind of gives like spooky, not really spooky, but like old, quaint, cute town.
Like colonial-ish.
Yeah, so it could be kind of, have that fall vibe, I'm sure. But there's a really great place that kind of took us by surprise there called the Coffin Bar. So of course it's kind of horror themed. Amazing food.
Oh my gosh.
The best mushroom soup. I don't like mushrooms very much, and that mushroom soup they had there, and we had like brunch there, so I got biscuits and gravy, and even the biscuits were like little coffins.
Yeah.
Amazing place, and it's just on theme if you're there. Another one is, and it's been popping up all over YouTube lately, is the Shady Maple Smorgasbord is close to Lancaster. It's not in Lancaster, but it's close, and it's the biggest buffet in the United States. So if you want to experience that, I recommend doing the breakfast there. The dinner's good, but the breakfast I hear is amazing. We did dinner, and it was good, but the breakfast is supposed to be amazing. So a couple little recommendations there for you as well. So we'll kind of bring it back a little bit more local here. Still PA, but more close to, like, Eastern Ohio type of area. And that's going to be the Haunted Mine. Now, we wanted to include this one. There's so many good ones in PA. We want to include this one because I think it's kind of a lesser known haunted house. You know, it's not going to blow your socks off as far as like set design and stuff like that, but I think it will blow your socks off in its uniqueness of setting and some of the stuff they make you do.
Yes. So it is actually in an old mine. This mine actually was used in the remake movie, My Bloody Valentine.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And they actually do promote that. They have people walking around with that mask on and stuff like that occasionally. But they actually make you get into those cars that they used to take the miners into the mine
boxes,
with. There's these weird boxes, then you're like low on the ground and stuff. It's really weird and surreal. And it kind of gets you into that weird vibe, like, where am I going? And the funny thing is that they're taking you like 100 feet into the mine.
Yeah,
it's
not a long ride, but the fact they could make you just walk back, but they want you to like feel and it works because it's freaky.
It
because like the whole, which I think is one of the most messed up themes in a haunt is the mine is collapsing. It is a real mine, and so they have all of these like, I don't want to call them animatronics, but like props like that look like things are crumbling, like the roof is like dropping. And there's so much fog in there, and like this is ethereal lights where it's kind of panic-inducing, but in, like, the way that it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
There also is a whole section before you get to this, too, which is cool. It's kind of like a mini haunted trail. You go through, like, a graveyard scene. There's, like, a little mini haunted house. But the main star here, and it's all included, is the mine. Now, we haven't been to it, but we wanted to mention it because we didn't even know this. But, like, literally right beside the haunted mine is I think it's a haunted trail.
I think it's a haunted trail, yeah.
Called The Shadows. You don't even have to leave the parking lot. It is there, right beside it. We just didn't know it was there, and like it was so late because this was the third haunt I think we did that night when we did this, and so we didn't have time to do The Shadows, or else we would have planned for it since it was right beside it, but we just didn't know that it was there. So if you've been to The Shadows, let us know in the comments if it's any good, because I actually don't know much about it, but I just know it's right beside there. So let's go. Oh, where do we want to travel to now?
I don't know.
We'll do Maryland.
All right.
Because I think this is a big one that people travel to. So the big one that people are going to go to Maryland for is, you probably guessed it, Markoffs Haunted Forest.
Yeah.
I liked Markoffs quite a bit. However, it wasn't my favorite from the trip, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
We went there mainly, weirdly enough, for Markoffs Haunted Forest and Bennett's Curse. Bennett's Curse was our least favorite of the trip. Markoffs was second favorite. Now, Markoffs, if you're not aware, is a giant trail through the woods. Now, one caveat I will say there is just understand that it can be very hilly, so if you have problems like with walking and stuff like that, like it is a fairly strenuous trail to walk for a haunt. It's not crazy, but there is a lot of up and down. Yeah. But it's very beautiful back there. I didn't get a lot of scares, but man, some of the scenes they have back there are just so big in scale.
Yeah. Like they had like a Viking ship that you walk on.
It's actually on water.
And it's on water. They had full on numerous cabins that you would walk into.
This really cool like junkyard scene at the end with all this flame spewing.
Yeah.
There's like churches. There's just so much back there. It's a very long haunt. It's at least a half hour long. I think it took us to get through there.
It took us a while.
They also have an amazing midway. There's games to play. There's a lot of good food. They have a bar there.
There's a haunt dog.
There. Oh yeah.
There's a dog walking around.
Oh yeah.
And
they have the dog.
I think it was their owner.
Yeah, because I petted him. He was like a German Shepherd, I think.
Yeah, he was just walking around.
Now there is a second haunt there too, which I think it's just called The Village. I believe they've improved upon it. We weren't the biggest fan of it when we went, but I'm pretty sure what's really annoying is they take you on this pretty long hayride, but there's no scares in the hayride. It just takes you to this village place. But I'm pretty sure they've made quite a few improvements to the village thing. I'm pretty, because again, this was like 21 or 22 we went to this one. But yeah. So now, we'll talk quickly about Bennett's Curse, because I still think that it's a big name. You should go there. There's tons of animatronics. For me, it just really didn't hit that hard, because it was a little more animatronic-focused than anything else to me. So, I like animatronics, but I'm actors and set design before that.
Yes.
Like, I'd much rather see that all day. Chippewa's one of our favorites, and they basically have no animatronics. So, maybe one or two. But now the one that was our favorite, and it's one of my favorite haunted houses, is the Laurel, I think it's Laurel's House of Horror.
Yeah. It's in an old, presumably Haunted Theater. And it just took us by surprise. They used the theater setting just so well. You actually like went up and down like into the theater seats, and they had movies playing on the screen. They had just beautiful, elaborate sets of all this stuff falling, and it was so pretty, and the actors were hysterical. If they weren't getting scared by them, they were cracking you up with like some really raunchy jokes.
Yeah.
If you watch our review, I actually talk about a couple of the jokes that they said and stuff, and it was like, should you be saying that? But yeah, it was just so beautiful.
It really was, which is weird. Again, people that aren't enthusiasts of haunts might be like, a haunted house beautiful, but like, yeah, some haunted houses are beautiful, and they can be scary and beautiful because, you know, like I would never really describe Chippewa like slaughterhouse as beautiful, but I would describe it as really cool and really like works for the theme they're going. But like the ones that are more like the supernatural, like with the lighting and the etherealness, and it feels like you took a step back in time. And yeah, I just really like this house. If you're in the area, you should really go there. And we have one more for the Maryland one, which was Nevermore. Now, Nevermore was a good haunted house, albeit I think it was only like 10 minutes long. But, and again, this is a couple years ago, it might be longer now, it might have different things. But the ending for this haunted house is one of the most unique, freaky,
so strange
AF endings, or just things in a haunted house I've seen. And like, I'm not going to spoil it in this video. I think we spoil it in the review if you really want to know, but you really should go in blind, because once you get to the ending, you're going to be like, well, I don't understand what's so different until the things happen, assuming it's all still the same. I hope they wouldn't change that, because it's so weird and unique of a thing that they did. So that's it for our Maryland area. Now, a couple quick things, because we said we'll mention things to do in the area. I don't want to talk about it too long, so I want to make the video go long. But one of the places you should really go to eat there is Jimmy's Famous Seafood. That's in Baltimore. It was absolutely amazing. A little pricey, but oh my gosh, it was so good. And, you know, I mean, Maryland's known for having, like, good seafood and stuff. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. And then another really good thing is if you do like drinking and if you're into whiskey, there's a really awesome distillery that does amazing tours. I believe it's called Sagamore Spirit. So if you're into that, also just a great recommendation there. Those two things, we had a lot of fun, and it's in that distillery's like right on this, like it's on like a harbor kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it has a really good view, and you can sit there and chill. All right. Where are we going next? What's next on our list? Where are we traveling to? Kentucky. All right. Oh, yeah. This is, which we have a similar trip this year planned in Indianapolis, Indiana. But if you're not familiar, Louisville, Kentucky has like 10 haunted houses all within like 30 minutes of each other. It's insane.
They're like literally like you drive past one to get to the other one. Like they're just ridiculously close to one another. So we're probably going to rifle through this one because we have a decent amount on this, and there's still a lot more that we're not going to mention in this video, but we're going to mention our favorites because, again, the idea is you want to take a trip to Louisville, Kentucky. What haunted houses should you go to? And we believe these are the ones that you should prioritize. So we're going to start off with American Horrorplex. Yep. We really liked this one because it is a huge haunted house. They have a lot of stuff to do while you're waiting to get into the haunted house and stuff. And they were really nice with us. They actually had a media night. Yep. And so we got to go in there. They let you film. They let you just walk through the haunted house as many times as you wanted to. They meet characters. Yeah. It was just a really nice thing. They gave us a little swag bag with stickers and weird like medical things. And again, this wasn't like specially for us. We didn't ask for this. This is something they can do that anyone that's media can sign up for. Because again, we very rarely like even let haunted houses know. We don't almost ever ask for free tickets or anything like that. Very rarely do we do anything like that. But this one, like I said, I just wanted to state that we're like, oh, give us free stuff. Like, no, this is something you can sign up for, and it's a special night they do each year, media night, something cool that they do. Yeah. Now, it wasn't our favorite on the trip, but they had some really cool scenes. Like, there's this cool scene that's like a subway train where it moves around and stuff at the end. But now, I think one that's, I would say the one that people would travel here for, the one that's the most famous, is probably the Haunted Hotel. Yes. Because it's known for being brutal and just messed up. And I would say for the most part, it does live up to its name. I will say I kind of hype myself up a little bit more than because I mean, even the sign says about things about getting shocked and stuff like that, and having to eat things.
no one shocked us, no one made us eat things, but they do manhandle you a decent amount. I think there was some, like, not the actors nudity, but I think there is, like, some nudity things. I mean, like, you know, there are drug references and stuff like that, so it is, like, it feels nasty while you're in there.
Yeah, it just feels dirty and grimy, but it's not. It's all the aesthetic and everything like that, but it does feel like you're, like, in this old, dilapidated hotel, and you're just like...
They do a really good job of making you want to leave. In a good way, though. Like, you're like, I don't want to be here anymore. This is upsetting. Yeah, which, I mean, that's what they're going for, and they do it well. I mean, just waiting in line for it, because, like, the way that they bring people in, this guy just kind of comes out the door and grabs you by the neck and just kind of walks him in, and then he just slams the door, and that's what you see everybody in front of you dealing with, and you're like, oh. So, most of the haunts in Kentucky do like touching. So the next one we have was the Baxter Avenue Morgue. This one was really cool. Almost all of it, I think, is kind of like in this basement.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like, I thought it was going to be in this warehouse that we were standing by. No, they took us down into this basement area, and everything was down there, and it was like, it was just really strange, but really neat.
It was cool. There wasn't, like, a lot of elaborate scenes, but the actors were what really made this place shine. So, yeah, it was really good. Now, probably my personal favorite of all the ones we went to Kentucky was the Devil's Attic.
Yeah.
This one, which usually I don't like haunted houses that do what this one does. So what this one does is it's kind of just like, it doesn't follow a theme. It's like every scene's different, and most of the themes of each room are kind of go off of like a different like movie or horror literature type of thing.
Yes.
Like you have like The Evil Dead, I think Hellraiser was in there, just a bunch of other stuff. But they do it all so well.
Yes.
And there's so many scares.
Oh my
like
gosh.
everywhere you look, there's a scare. It kind of reminded me of Ghoul. I think we mentioned it because it's short but sweet, kind of how we used to talk about Ghoul Brothers. You know, rest in peace. Unfortunately, they're not open this year. Hopefully they will eventually. But it reminded me a little bit of that, but like movie themed.
Yeah.
That one was great. And then the last one we're going to mention is Malice Manor.
Malice Manor is technically Indiana, but we're not going to hold it against them.
It's really close.
Because it's super close to all of these. That one was actually a really big surprise. We didn't have very high hopes because it was in like a strip mall. And we were like, I don't know.
I think it was by a strip mall. I don't actually know if it's connected. It kind of looks like it's in a giant garage almost.
Yeah. And we were just like, oh, I don't know. But then we just went in there and it was like, wow. Like, the sets were really awesome. The actors were fantastic.
They were pretty rough with you. They were kind of like,
rough.
They don't advertise it like the Haunted Hotel does, but they touch and they grab you and stuff. They really got us good quite a few times. Like
there was an older lady that was the queue line actor, and she was, every time she walked past me, she was petting me and playing with my hair.
Well, even the queue was pretty cool. I think it was like you're like in a graveyard or something, like wrapping around. Yeah. That was probably the one we had the least expectation for, just because, you know, again, don't judge a book by its cover, and that was, all of them were really good. That was probably my second favorite after Devil's Attic, but all of them were really good. I didn't dislike any of them that we went to. So yeah, like I said, and there's other ones that are out there too, like a big one is Waverly Hill Sanatorium does a haunt. I don't know how good it is, but you should visit Waverly. You should at least visit that in the day for a day tour. We did a ghost hunt, which is on the channel. They do publics, which aren't that expensive, and they do privates, which are very expensive. But if you're in the area, regardless of if you do the haunt, you should experience Waverly in some way if you're also into that side of spookiness, of like the actual real spooky, not just the, you know, horror movie, horror haunted house thing. All right, so the next area we're going to take a little venture to, which was, we went last year for the first time, which was Illinois' Chicago area. Not Chicago, but Chicago area.
Chicago area.
So the big one that you're going to go here for, that's really got a name for itself for the last couple of years, is Hell's Gate.
Yes.
And it's, you should go there for this.
You should go there. Make the trip.
Yes.
It's not that far.
It is huge. It is elaborate. It is theater level quality acting because most of the staff are, as like the owner himself describes them, as theater brats. It is a giant. It's really cool because you walk this really long like haunted trail that takes you to the haunted mansion. Like it's not just a walk to it. Also, you don't even park at the haunt. You park at like kind of like this little party area with like food vendors and stuff, and you get on a freaky school bus that takes you to it. It takes you to the cute little town and takes you back into the woods. It's actually like a 10 to 15 minute long bus ride. It's out there, which adds to the aesthetic because you're just kind of dropped off and you're like, okay, what am I doing now?
What do I do now?
Yeah.
Just the way that they're so elaborate with everything and their storytelling is just so immersive because they basically have like grown this this thing that's been taking over the house for these few years and stuff. And you can tell they've just been adding to it and making it more of a monster, so to speak. And it is really phenomenal to see.
Yeah. There's quite a few in that area too. The 13th floor was pretty good. We liked it. A little short, but we liked it. It had some pretty good scares and stuff like that. None of them really compared to Hell's Gate. We also went to Old Jewelette Prison, which they have the one that's in the prison itself, then 2 side haunts. The prison one was pretty good. We liked that for the most part.
Yeah.
But then the side haunts were just kind of like, they were there.
They were there.
Yeah, we weren't like the biggest fan of it, but it was fine. Now, what I hear is the other best one is Disturbia, which we did go to. There's not a review on the channel, though, because about, I don't even know, we were in maybe 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
The electricity shut off because, and it's the only time this ever happened, somehow, like, one of their neighbors, because this is in a strip mall type of situation, like, shut their power off somehow, and they lost power all night, and obviously this was the last night we were there, so we couldn't get back, and they refunded us and all of that, but we've heard Disturbia is very good by some reliable people that are also haunt enthusiasts like this, so I would say if you do Hell's Gate, make sure you do Disturbia, and, you know, you can try the other two if you want. I mean, the Jewelette Prison was cool because it is an actual prison.
Yeah.
So the atmosphere there is cool. And the 13th floor, I think, you know, it is worth doing, you know, if you can fit it in. But those are the two. Hell's Gate, absolutely you should do, and then, you know, maybe prioritize Disturbia after that. Now, what I will say, in a year or two from now, Chicago will have the year-round Halloween Horror Nights thing, which, if it's anything what Vegas has shown us, is going to be very expensive, but cool.
Yeah.
So that'll be one more must-do reason to go to Chicago for that. All right, so the next stop we're going to make, do we have any others after this? Nope. Okay, so our last destination is going to be Michigan. Now, we have been to Michigan before for Erebus, which is here, but a new big one, I think Erebus is still really popular, which we'll talk about in a minute, but is Eloise Asylum.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of the channel, if you have watched this video up till now, you know, again, we are a big fan of Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse. We compare a lot of things to it. Eloise Asylum is to asylum theming what Chippewa is to slaughterhouse theming, meaning they stick, well, at least for the main haunt, 100% to asylum, and they just do it, at least thematically, the best any place ever has. The only problem we had with this is the night we went, very light on actors. Now, hopefully that'll be different when you go, but this place inside, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 set design.
Pretty. So pretty.
The basement part was also good. I forget exactly the theming there. I think it still has something to do with the asylum.
It was basically like experimentation on patients.
Similar to kind of like the Pennhurst thing.
Yeah,
so it's really similar storyline. But that part was fine, but the main haunt, the actual part that's in the asylum, is crazy. I've talked about it on the channel before, but Grim Life Collective did an amazing walkthrough of it, which you should watch, because it's crazy when you walk through. There's so much of it you think is just the old asylum, they didn't do anything, but so much of what they made isn't even actually the asylum walls.
Yeah.
Because of what they had to do to make certain effects and stuff work. It's crazy amount of work they've done, and how, I mean, that's a testament that people think that, oh, they haven't really done that much, and it's like, no, they've done a ton, which also really enforces my comparing it to Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse, because same there, a lot of people are like, oh, you didn't really do that much. It's like you just themed it a slaughterhouse, which it already was, and it's like, you don't actually understand what happened here. And then there's, we'll talk about Hush next. Hush was good.
It was another one of those ones that has a very party atmosphere.
Yes.
Like after every haunted house, there was a bar. Actually, some of the haunted houses had hidden bars inside them. If you got a certain pass when you got your ticket, you could actually access those bars and stuff like that.
I'm not a big fan of having to pay to go into a bar to pay to get alcohol.
Yeah.
That seems like maybe just let people in and you'll get a lot of money based off of all that, how much you charge for alcohol.
Yeah.
So that's a little weird to me, but yeah, Hush was pretty good. I'll be honest, I don't remember a ton about Hush. I remember we liked it.
Yeah.
I remember we did like it. Now, Erebus was the highlight of the trip again. We went there and it's been a hot minute since we've been to Erebus the first time. It was 2015 or something. It was before me and Kim did the haunt reviews.
Yeah.
Because I think we did one when we used to do the haunt reviews many years ago. Mm-hmm. So I had an old one on the channel where we want to go back. They haven't changed a ton, but there's nothing else like Erebus.
Oh my gosh.
There's haunt, we talk a lot about we haunts that do touch passes and stuff. Well, Erebus, the actors I think will touch you, But it's not the actors that touch you that freak you out. It's the crazy thing that the props will do to you. I don't know of any other haunted house that does something like this, which is a good one to kind of end on, because it's like really, I think the last one we're talking about here. There's a thing where like they have like an infinity floor that looks like you're gonna fall off, and so you're like running your back against this wall on this ledge, and the wall pushes you onto it. There's a whole like, it reminds me of that Nickelodeon show like Legends of the Hidden Temple, where like there's these walls that come and like will crush you, and you have to run in between them, and like they won't kill you, but like you will get crushed by them. They're foam, and they will you up against the thing. Yeah. There's a giant monster that tries to eat you. There's gorillas that'll come out of the ground.
There's little gorillas that go like this. There's a giant one of those big mallets that comes down and swings down and hits you in the head. There's those body bag things.
Oh yeah, we walk in one room and actors on the other side and just flings one on like a chain thing at us and just pelted me against the wall. Yeah. There's this real weird thing that makes it think you're about to get electrocuted. Mm-hmm. You do not get shocked. Yeah. There's, unfortunately, they had it closed down the night we went, but they have the buried alive thing where they put you in a room and they rain balls down. I think we accidentally opted out of it, actually, but I don't know how. Because I'm pretty sure we accidentally opted out of that. I'm not exactly sure how we did that.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was weird. But yeah, you absolutely should check out Erebus. Like, Erebus and Eloise Asylum are great. We did another one there. What was that one we did? Deranged Haunted Trail.
That's it, Deranged.
It was pretty good. Like I said, I would put that last on your list out of these, but, you could get it. But you absolutely should do Erebus and Eloise Asylum.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you very much for that. I hope that these recommendations helped. If you have any other recommendations, let us know. If you're curious where we're going this year, we made a whole video about that's on the channel. And there's going to be, tons of reviews and stuff like that coming up. We just released our Halloween Horror Nights video, so you can go watch that.
There will be a little contest that I'm running. One of them is actually on the set right now. If you see where it is, comment down below.
And it might be a character from a haunted house we talked about on this list. So if you see it, comment below. But before my camera dies, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you ring the ding-a-ling bell.
Ding-a-ling!
So you don't miss any upcoming videos. And we will see you guys in the next video.
Bye.